patience flood. With you I'm unstoppable. With you I'm indestructible. Greater one you live in me. I have overcome. I have overcome. If I find you, I have no need to fear. If I find you, I have no need to worry. If I find you, I have no need to fret. If I find you, I have no need to worry. Because in you there's hope, in you there's joy, in you there's love, in you there's peace, in you there's power, in you there's might, in you there's everything I need. In you there's hope, in you there's joy, in you there's love, you there's peace, in you there's power, in you there's might, in you there's everything I need. Yeah, you are everything. You are everything. You are everything. Everything to me. You are everything. Everything to me. Everything to me. God of the Most High God, the Savior and my Redeemer.
Hello and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. Today is going to be amazing! Yes, and you'll soon find out why. First of all, our topic is an interesting one, and then we have really special guests with us. So soon enough I'll be introducing them, but I'd like to start by letting you know that my name is Anieite Bature. It has not changed for the past very many years. Okay. So love is full of ups and downs. No, actually life is full of ups and downs, but then you also have that situation playing out with love a couple of times. And you know, seasons change. I mean, seasons come, seasons go, and you also have that with humans. I mean, we are not the same from the time we are born to the day we exit the planet. As things happen, we change. Some people will say we evolve. Some people will say we morph, right? So what happens when the person you love, what happens when your spouse presents in a way and in a manner that you do not like, you do not appreciate, or you're like, oh my goodness, I would rather completely not have this? What do you do? What do you do when you, like some will say, fall out of love? Also, what do you do when you are not feeling all those wonderful feelings anymore? Is there a solution? Is there a way out? Is there a way to get back to the place of butterflies and joy and happiness and so on? Is there a way to address the irreconcilable differences? I'm sure you've heard that term a couple of times. That's often said when you see people who say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm moving on. And then we ask, what really happened? And they you know, sometimes people get tired of explaining to the different people who ask what really happened. So they just say, no, we had irreconcilable differences. It's just very sweet, and it's just really beautiful to just see we had irreconcilable differences. That way I don't have to start telling you. So you know, the other day. So yes, let's see how we handle this in relationships. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined us today. Everyone who has joined us on the different platforms, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Thank you for taking time to be with us on the show today. And just in case you have not yet subscribed to this channel that's on YouTube, I am just wondering, what are you waiting for? Subscribe today. Subscribe. And follow us on Facebook. And subscribe on LinkedIn. Well, I think it's still on LinkedIn. Yes. So be part of our journey and be part of our story and be part of the Common Sense family, because it makes sense to be part of the Common Sense family. Yep. And I see that some people have already joined us. Thank you so much. Ephraim Ega is on. Ephraim says, wow, another beautiful setting. Yes! We move. Hashtag we knew. So we make the most of the opportunity, of every opportunity, and we morph with conditions as they present themselves. So that's why we're on a different set today, and it's a beautiful one. Thanks to the wonderful team that makes this happen week on week on week. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you. I hope you're fanning yourselves and clapping for yourselves wherever you are. Yes, this is really beautiful. In fact, apart from the people who actually do the enhance everything, there are the people who do the picturing, the envisioning, the seeing in 3D. Yes, they're doing a good job. God bless you all. And King, I see you. King is with us. He says, hello, it's lovely to be here. King, we are happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so I will now introduce our very special guests. And just before that, I will introduce the one and only, the love of my life, my darling, my sweetheart. I can sing for him. My honey, my honey. You're swearing, you're singing. Okay, actually, his name is Mr. Kingsley Bature.
No, I'm not even answering. You know, Nigerians now, anytime that anytime that women want to collect something from your hand, they just start singing. I'm not looking at anybody's face. I'm not looking at anybody's face. Anytime they want to collect something, they will start singing. They will sing. They will rub your head. Guys, those of you who never married, when they rub your head, you will start misbehaving. Another mumu is born. Anyway, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us. Those people that have not joined yet, please send them the link and tell them it's common sense time. Share it and send it out. I welcome you all, and I'm glad to be here. We are glad to be here. When love is not enough. Now, there are many ways to look at that thing, but I'm sure that they are dying to know who are these ejima that we also have on set.
Yes.
There's ejima, there are two ejima. In fact, somebody noted that I am the darkest person on this set. All of them are just shining. They are just bright. So because they say that I decided to wear black so that I will stand out.
It is well. Sorry, don't worry. The light of the Lord is shining upon you.
Keep talking.
Okay, and then to introduce our special guest for today, the Arsenic family. A round of applause. Yes. So we have with us on set Mr. Paul Ikone and his lovely wife Glory.
Yeah, it's really good to be here. It's been a long time working on the background and part of this show, and it's a different feeling altogether to be here, not alone, with my wife.
Yes, with my wife.
With my wife. I'm not even with my wife.
Let me just send that this is
Yes.
like, come here, let me just send that this right. Today we are in the show, right? I'm not sending that this right, we are in the show.
Yes.
It's a beautiful feeling.
So just in case you guys didn't get it, I will tell you again, right? Arsenic is actually the person who does all our designs.
He's our design engineer. He's our design engineer. He's one of those people that likes to be backstage, but today we brought them front stage, front and center. They do us a front and center. They're in the center, exactly.
I think they've been on the show before.
I was on the virtual part.
Yes. So this is the first time the Arsenic family is here. And
the other member of the family is backstage.
yes, once in a while.
Once in a while, you may hear the admin.
She may just say, I'm here. When you hear, you will know. That when that time comes, you will know. All right, so this topic is a very interesting one. And it's not just because it's something that is nice to talk about, but it's because it's a serious need. There are so many couples that are struggling, right, that are dealing with the reality that, hey, this person I used to feel all these things for, I'm not feeling it anymore, right? This person I used to look forward to seeing, this person that I used to rush home to meet, this person that I was always excited to be around, now feels, as the days go by, like every other person, like just the normal guy on the street. In fact, right now I feel like I'm living with my roommates rather than with my husband or wife. You know, marriage sometimes starts to feel like a duty for people who are in that situation, instead of feeling like something that you are enjoying, like an experience that you want to go on, never end, you know, like a roller coaster. Well, that is for people who enjoy it. Because not everybody enjoys roller coaster.
Like me, I don't enjoy roller coaster.
Yes. So, how do you deal with this situation where you start to fall, you feel like you're falling out of love, or you feel like you are not feeling this person anymore like you used to? So I'd like to ask you guys, so you see the interesting thing here is that we have a younger couple and then the older couple. So just let's help people to understand, like, how many years have you been married?
4 years. This is 4 years.
Yes.
And 1 more.
Exactly.
Yes. You see, at this time they used to count the months and the days. Then at a certain time you just do.
Yes.
Then after some time you now do decades.
Yes. You see, at that point your marriage has reached where you can marry.
Yes.
Because here our marriage are teenagers. Their marriage is a toddler. He's working. He's under 5. It's a primary school marriage.
Yes. So the beauty in this setting is that you will be able to have the feel of the younger couple. Like we are some years in, but not too far in, and people will say, "Oh, the love is still hot" and stuff like that. So you'll be able to share with us the experiences that you have and how you deal with some of these things, and then we'll be able to tell you from this angle of 15 years and counting, you know, and see how we are dealing with all of this stuff. So in your marriage, and you can start with before marriage and after marriage, so you can paint the picture for singles also. Have you ever been in this situation where it felt like the love was waning? Have you ever, right? So that's the first question. Then depending on the answer to that question, I'll know what to ask.
You see, when you say that the love is waning, those of us that went to night school, we have a problem.
Okay.
When it looks as if the love wants to finish, or when it looks as if the person that you love is now possessed by the devil. You understand? Do you understand that place where I'm supposed to love this guy, you guys are supposed to love me, but the way this guy is acting is as if he's my enemy, he's working against my progress.
Or if the relationship was an engine, at the point where it feels like the lubricant has finished,
it begins to crank. Crank.
Yes. So have you ever been in that situation?
Yes. I think we've been there.
You speak for yourself.
I remember, I think the hardest part marriage so far has been was when we were to have our child. You know, so it was just a roller coaster of emotions there. So I can remember one day my wife just told me, "I don't love you again." Like, I said, "I don't love you again." I'm like, I'm what used to like all your mouth. And before I'll tell you why. That was like the really like hard part for me. Let me this when they all over my DM. All over your DM. She's like this, like it was just like a new person entirely. She said, "Let me think, I don't love you." And like walking back to the events leading up to that. Yeah. I think I was just frustrated. So many things weren't working out. There was no child. Like one of the reasons why I wanted to get married
was to have kids.
Was to have a family. Yeah, immediately. Like I'm already calculated with 25. I'll marry.
26 there's a baby.
26 there's a baby. You know, so I had these expectations of what I wanted. I already planned it out, and And the fact that I've gotten married, I was expecting the next thing to come and it wasn't coming.
It wasn't just the baby. It was a job loss.
I also lost my job 6 months into the marriage.
Oh my Lord.
The loss of job can lead to loss of love.
19 so recruiting people to work for them. So it was a very bad and tough time.
So that really shaped up our life.
So this is interesting. Okay, so first of all, I hope you picked the fact that at the time he got married, he was 25, right?
Yeah.
And then she was 22. In this day and age, some people will say, "What were you people looking for?"
But there are other people that will still say that it's not possible for you to be getting married at 25.
Yes.
I don't understand. Young guy, you never chop life. You just go bind yourself. How can you do that? Who does that? Okay, what do they pursue yourself?
A lot for most people. What are you rushing for? So that was really the time I felt it. I don't know about speak for myself. So because really, I think that's it for me. The point where I felt
interesting.
Like
I just think his own frustration was frustrating me.
So that
he was things don't really get to me, so it was really getting to him. So sometimes he manifests those things, and I'm like, what's going on? We are going through this thing together. You know, I got married to you 6 months into the marriage. You lost your job. I lost a pregnancy. I conceived. I because of my biochemistry background, SLT background, I run my ovulation test. Everything is okay, but there's no baby. You get so I was like, why are you? So it was. I think his frustration kind of
rubbed off on you.
Yes, something like that.
So you unloved me.
Just like unfriended me. You just unloved. She unloved him.
I think there was a day I went out and I didn't wear my wedding ring.
Okay.
Abi?
Yeah.
And you asked me, and I said, because you're not the man I married.
Hey!
I said, like my husband, that I didn't wear my wedding ring. I dropped the ring at home. I was like,
That must have been tough. That must have been tough.
A sad time. So that was the time that in our marriage we felt like we weren't getting it anymore, and it was like I wanted this so much, and now I have it, and it's not anything close to what I expected it to be. So at that time there was just so much going on in my head. Did I make a mistake? A lot of people told me, "Okay, man, you are so young. You're getting married." So like. I don't feel like they told me so. If I didn't get married now, I won't be going through all this stuff I'm going through now. I'm still a young guy. Like, I lost my job. I shouldn't even be caring because I was whatever. It's good enough to just make me chill and relax. But the pressure was there because I have a family to also take care of and bills to that I wanted to achieve. So at that time, I had called my wife, I talked to her.
So this is now steps on how you guys got out of it.
Yes, but talk to her was really what I did because of how I talked to her.
There was a problem. You are trying to solve the problem and it cause another problem.
And the approach, like, so I think I was just angry and I was not shocked.
You gave me bad balls.
I come on, like, is there anything you want from me I'm not giving you? You make a list of everything you wanted before you got married. I have a list of what I wanted before I got married. And I'm not getting any of them. You understand? So I was just trying to, I thought that was just a perfect way to do it.
Wow.
So you check yours so I can check mine and then we can compare who is really the problem here. So that was the approach, and she wasn't giving me a response, and that got me more angry. Like, why are you not talking? I'm asking you to just give me an input here and you're not talking. So that got me more angry because it's a strong word when you're trying to reason with someone and the person isn't reasoning with you at all. So you just feel like you are just talking to the air, like free to air.
Yeah. So let me just pick a few things there. So first of all, it takes two, right?
Yes.
In getting out of this situation, it takes two. You need to have two people who say, we are going to come back to the place of bliss, to the place of love, to the place of affection and all of that. It takes two. So yes, you had a good plan, a good idea, right? But you see, she talked about the approach, and you have admitted that it made things worse. And you know, when you look at love, one of the expressions of love is that it is not proud. Right? It is not proud, it's not boastful. So that display that you did, it was very factual, but it was pride just manifesting.
I take an exception to that. When the man talks, they say it's pride. I mean, come on, let the man breathe. Let the man breathe. Yes.
No, look at. So someone had to make that logical move. But the thing is, I wish I knew this then. What seems most logical wouldn't actually always produce the best result when emotions and feelings
exactly. Yeah, because and I'll just tie it up like this, right? You see, the pride part of love, not the pride manifestation in love is when somebody tries to say, I am giving. I have given this, and it's a statement of truth. It's
so that's where I'm going now. So how can you say it's pride?
When you say, I have given this, I have done this for you, I've done that for you, everything, something, and you just keep talking about your contribution and so on, especially when the focus is on just your contribution, it shows up as pride. And you find the other person feeling like what you are saying, even though it's a statement of fact, it makes it sound as if you're saying a person is not doing anything.
Totally useless. Yes.
I think that is not adding any value. Do you understand? So it will not be like, okay, so if you're the one who can't carry the marriage by yourself now. Do you understand? Do you understand? So that's one part. And then the other thing I wanted to bring out in her not responding, which actually it could be for different reasons, right? But that pause could have actually been a lifesaver for the relationship at that stage, because assume she decided to respond.
Tell us why you did.
You know,
the thing is, over the years, I courted you for 2 years. As of then, I think I was married to you about 3 years. I noticed you have a temperament. Let me not say a temperament issue. You are working on it. He just plays. He just goes from 0 to 101. So you can't be going 0 to 101, and I'm going 0 to 101. They won't have to catch fire. There's no need. So when I see him like that, I'm like, you don't need a response. You just need to calm down first. It wasn't. I don't think it was a back and forth talk for us. You know, it was just him saying what he wanted to say.
Yes.
He wasn't asking me. Imagine somebody wakes up and is telling you, I said I wanted this, I'm not getting it, what do you want? It doesn't sound like a heart-to-heart conversation. You get, it's more like just like you said.
Thoughts.
Yes. Like, no, there's no judgment here today. So I didn't want to get involved in the conversation. I think another part of the talking I didn't like was he made some comparisons and I didn't like it. He wasn't comparing me with any other person, but he was comparing people, his peer groups, like see this person, see this person, see this person. And at the other end, I'm like, but I'm contented. He's asking me, don't you want more? But I'm like, some of these things are not up to us. I don't give picking. The job, other people lost their job. It's sad. The timing is just not right, but I believe things will. That's my kind of person. I just believe they were going to get better. But I think he waited for a while. So he got fed up. I didn't get a child. I didn't get this. There was nothing to say. I didn't have plenty things to say. So
interestingly, what I'm hearing is the fact that the things he was asking for are actually not wrong. Because everyone wants to get into marriage and they have an expectation, or they have maybe a checklist or a bucket list of what they expect to happen in marriage. Now you get into marriage and life happens, and usually when life happens, it doesn't follow your script. Unfortunately.
For example, this 6 months after, so please emphasis to the ladies who say, I want to marry a guy who is loaded, who has money, who works in so and so place. 6 months after,
he loses his job. I'm telling you, why was this laughter? Why was this laughter? Please explain this laughter. Explain this laughter.
Because you think you know so much. You have found a loaded husband, you have found a man who has money, and you just realize that Paul goes offshore. They tell him, go home, we're going to call you back. Go home, we're going to call you back to 2 years and 6 months.
So shakes up everything.
So you have to check what's the motive for getting married.
Bam.
Money doesn't always stay, comes and goes, and you don't know when yours is going to go.
It's something people should look out for. Your motive for being with someone, is it something that is really up to that person to keep?
Yes.
So some people are following people or their partner or their spouse because of something that is not up to them.
Like now, okay, he mentioned childbirth. Some causes of infertility are not known.
Yeah.
The man is okay, the woman is okay, but there's no baby.
No child.
So what do you do in that kind of situation?
Yes. So that's how people should look at.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see all of this. I'd like to take a few comments just before we go ahead. We have, let's see where we're starting from. Ezekiel Asupo, who says, hello guys. Yes, Ezekiel, hi. And he also says, love is paramount in a relationship. If there is no love, there is no commitment. Thanks, Ezekiel. Ephraim says, love isn't enough when the thinking process of the partners does not align.
Ephraim, I give you one cold drink. One cold drink. Keep talking.
When the thinking process does not align, please take note. He says a strong and lasting partnership requires a degree of mental compatibility and shared values. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Really important. You need to be compatible, you need to have shared values, and you people have to be unified in the purpose for which you are together.
Hey, anti-party.
So if people are just wondering, it's my sister.
Don't just say it like that before they say I should buy cow. Before they say I should buy your elder sister. So before they say we did not honor them very well on TV.
So I have to rejoice every time I see her. Yes. So she says, lovely studio. Thank you so much, Anti-Party. And she says, I know what that laughter means. Okay, I'm not sure which one. Then she now
the laughter now, the laughter 6 months later.
Then she now says 6 months later. You know how they do in some of these kids? When they just do something, then they now say 6 months later.
So I would want to ask our audience, those that are online, please, if you have any questions, whether your marriage is in the low, the early years, and the later years, if you have questions that you think you would want us to respond to, we would like you to just drop it in the comments, in the comment section. We our guests can take it, but it's been interesting conversation so far.
We have seen.
Before the show, we put out a poll, to ask and say, the question in the poll is, can you still be in a relationship without love? Can you still stay in a relationship without love? It was interesting to find out that 50% say that they can be in a relationship without love.
Wow.
Exactly. Because I was going to say that, because when we say love is not enough, we're not saying love is not important. Do you understand? But if we say love is not enough, we're saying that there's love, but is it the only thing that keeps a relationship? So there are some times in the relationship where some people say, just like our parents back in those days, sometimes they didn't love who they married. They just married out of duty, like you mentioned. That's one of the things so some people can actually stay in a relationship and there's no love, there's just duty. It's my job to do this, it's my job to do. I'm not saying that that's the one that I want to. Don't be looking at me like that. No, I'm saying it is possible. Let me drop my disclaimer because we have to sleep somewhere this night. That's not the one. But I'm saying that it can happen. It used to happen with our parents back in the days. They just brought you to one man's house and then say that's your husband and you have to stay there. So some people can actually stay in a relationship without love. There are ladies now that say everything about love is all about what's it called? Is money. The guys will tell me, it's all about money. That all the ladies. In fact, today we were out with a couple of guys. We took live wire singles. We were out on the pitch. And they said, we had a chat and we were talking about ladies and they're like, lucky ladies, it's just money. When they ask you, are you man enough, all they're asking is, can your bank account handle me? Do you understand? So for lucky ladies, they feel, when I ask them this question, they feel that some ladies, if money is there, they don't need love.
Interesting.
Ladies, if you are online and money is there and you don't need love, without money, please let us know if you can sustain your relationship with money, because money answereth all things. Yes, let's look at it like that. So
Manasseh, I'll just take Manasseh's comment and then we go ahead. Manasseh says, remember that love is just one component of a successful relationship. It requires effort, understanding, a willingness to walk through challenges together. Thank you so much.
So that brings me back to what we said with their challenge. During the week when we were talking about this, you mentioned someone sent you a message to say, what do you do when
you lose interest in your partner?
When you lose interest. What do you do when you lose interest?
In fact, this particular question was, what do you do when you lose interest in one another? So it's neutral. The man has lost interest in his wife. The woman has lost interest in her husband. What do you do?
And that's really a very tough one. Now, I often, what I believe leads to loss of interest is they've both grown apart. And that's why it's really important to know what is happening in the partner's life at the time, right? So this year I went through a series of absentness in my family, focused on trying to achieve one certification exam to the other, and I saw my wife. She just come in and said, "Look, you've been around, but you've not been around." You understand?
You are presently absent.
Yeah, you've been around, but you've not been around, and that message touched me, and I asked myself, what am I really struggling for? I'm doing all these things because I want to get better certificates to get a better life for them, but I'm not home. When I'm home, I'm just on the dining, trying to read, trying to study, and all of that. So I realized that for a partner who doesn't care at all about what the partner is going through, they can't even understand. She was able enough to tell me when it got so bad, and I said, I just say, okay, and I can drop the book and I come back, it's just me and you off the phone, just what do you want us to do, all this stuff. Now I came back from work, I didn't have time, I just spent one day with them. I came to Ogun for a training. I was like, okay, just join me, because I've not been around, so this is the time I have, I spend it with them, I make sure I make good memories with them. So allowing your partner to outgrow you or to grow out of you is where the lack of interest starts. So
I would extrapolate that question, right, to say what causes that growing apart? Is it that people did not notice? Because in your case, she says it and you hear her. So what causes that growing apart? Is it that somebody stopped paying attention, or the both people said, because in this case now she said they lose interest in one another?
It could be many reasons. Right, but you can share your thoughts on the subject.
Let me just complete what I was about to say. So and this often happens easily when the two partners aren't really working together. I won't forget that I think that we came here on the 24th of 2019, October, after our marriage.
I think it was September.
September 20. So we married on the 21st, 29th we were on the road, and 23rd we were here. So one thing you said I won't forget was that it's you two
against the world.
And so once a couple starts facing the world by themselves like individuals,
Yes.
right? So I'm trying to achieve this, I'm trying to achieve this, and it's not for the purpose of making your family better, but yourself better. You are bound to grow apart, and you will lose interest in each other, like automatically, because what makes them happy, what makes my wife happy, won't mean anything to me any longer, and what makes me happy won't mean anything to her. So automatically, you have somebody else. And God help to the person is a different sex, like gender. Now, that is in the same line of what you are doing. Somebody who is good in design. And he's asking me why I'm working on. I use it Sigma. Both of us are talking about
exactly.
Both of us were because each other, and then she'll feel like whenever I come out, she's just boring. I want to sleep. That's just what will happen. So that is one of the things that. So any couple who are not interested to just take a step back and ask themselves, I will really know.
Are we growing together?
For me, I think it's not just that. I think some of them, the other partner outgrows the other person. And so I think when I was younger, before I got married, I think even before I got into my first relationship, which is actually with him, I was listening to one marriage sermon. And I don't remember who did that. And the person said you have to marry someone you can grow with. Someone that if you have been married for 20 years, you people grow together. You don't outgrow them, like you grow together. I don't know if you understand. And some people get to the top and they look at their spouse and they're like, no, at this level you can't be my spouse. Yeah, so I think that's part of it too. Yeah. You know, you have to marry for all seasons. Yeah. The next 50 years, can you still be married to this person? When you are the president of Nigeria, can you still be married to this person? Do you people share values? Because people marry people who do totally different things from them. You don't have interest in your body. It's not love. It's not I love you all the time. Sometimes you ask me, how is the design going? I think the alignment is not right. I love you. What do people get tired of saying I love you? Then people can ask you, you made. Let the other person have interest in you, right? Yes. They will have interest in the things you do because the whole I love you after a while.
It's fair.
So what do you people have in common that you can discuss?
Yes, so it's really important. Thank you very much. It's so important to grow together because I mean, imagine a scenario where one person. Let's just take. Just assume any profession. They both leave school together. At that point, you guys are here together, right? And then you have your first degree, and then over time, one person is like, I want to get a master's. After that, I want to get a PhD. After that, I need to get chartered, or I want to get this certification. I want to get that. And the other person is like, Ben, I'm done with school, and I'm just going to do my job and earn my salary and fine. What is going to happen over time is that the level of exposure of this person who is continuing to improve themselves is going to be so much more than the other person. And the kind of opportunities that will come to this person is also going to be at a higher level than the one who wasn't improving themselves. And then you get to a point where one person is saying, I'm embarrassed to be associated with you. Because all my peers now, you used to be my peer once upon a time.
But I've moved.
But I have moved and you refuse
to move.
Now I am interacting with with doctors and, do you understand, leaders in the profession. You are still here. Do you understand?
And where the wahala now is now when it's the woman that is moving.
Yeah.
And the guy is the one that say, let me just continue my hustle. I'm tired of
especially the guy is a traditional guy.
If the guy is a traditional man,
I will be expecting
traditional Igbo man. That
would be expecting if you liked become whatever. If you like, become whatever. When you come back, shall just sound
But
the
if it's the traditional man, you're not getting to
You pull your wire. You pull your wire.
pull it. You guys sell in main market on Jam. Why are you going to?
Wow.
Yeah. So going together is really important. So if I were to answer the question, like say someone comes to me and says, I'm not interested, she's not interested, what do we do? I will say the following. First of all, I'll say it takes two, right? And both of you have to start with the decision that, hey, we don't want to call it quits. We want to do this. We still want to do this. Maybe for the sake of your children, maybe for the sake of whatever reason, but you have to start with that decision that we will fight for our union, we will fight for our marriage, right? We will do whatever it takes to rekindle the flame of love and to bring back the affection and so on. That's number one. And number two would be recall. I would like you to go down memory lane. Recall. Because once upon a time, you told that I'm now saying I'm not interested. Once upon a time, people were in love. Once upon a time, you say I can't live without it. In fact, once upon a time, you were willing to challenge your father when he said that you cannot marry that girl. But now you are saying
All of a sudden,
do you understand? So what happened? Go down memory lane. Remember when you used to take those strolls and hold hands? Remember when the butterflies were still alive? Remember electric currents and everything? Remember all of those, right? And think about it. So take yourself back to that place. If you were able to love that person then that means there is a chance that you can still love the person now. So the next thing is for people to now say, when did it stop? Each person has to say, when did it stop for you? When did it stop for you? And what made it stop? What were the conditions that led to it stopping? That's when somebody say something like, well, you stopped doing so and so for me. Or, well, you stopped doing something. Well, you started doing this other thing that I do not like. Well. Do you understand? And then you can now say, okay, what is the gap that has been created now? And how can we close it? Because if someone says you don't spend time with us anymore, it feels that you're not interested in our lives, that means the other person now needs to be intentional and say, I will start spending time with you. How can I do that? Okay, I'm really busy. I will create a slot for you on my calendar. The same way I schedule other meetings. I will create a slot on my calendar. Go ahead, please.
Sorry, but I needed to chip in this thing before you move away from that point. Which is the fact, there's a session we did, and it's still on this channel. You can Google it, Anieite Bature on YouTube. There was a session we did. We called it the serious or the business side of love. So this point you just mentioned. There's the part where people think that everything about love is going to be solved on an emotional level. Right? But it's not always true. Sometimes you need to have strategy sessions. You need to take a business look at it. So this point that you mentioned where you say you need to schedule the person, the other party on your business, on your work. If you are that busy, schedule the person. There's something that I have to spend time on my to-do list. So there was a point where it wasn't that fluid. So I had to make part of my to-do is call her at 10. Call her at 10. Then call her at 2 or 3, depending on whether she has meeting or not. The idea is that at least by the time I call her twice before close of business, we have made contact. She sometimes, if she doesn't hear from me by 10, she will call. Sometimes she now calls before then, just so. Do you understand? So it's that the two people are taking a business approach to this whole love matter, because the butterflies, that's the anointing about butterflies. They don't have a long lifespan. Butterflies don't have a long lifespan. So those things will not usually last. And today, as counselors, you hear a lot of things some people's butterfly, back then we used to say butterflies, in the first 2 years of marriage, all the butterfly. These days, it doesn't need to pass 3 months. The butterflies die very quickly. You understand? They don't pass 3 months, and before you know it, there's these issues coming up, and people are saying, he doesn't love me anymore, I don't love you anymore. Meanwhile, you just needed to change your approach, to love.
Yeah, sorry, just to add my own experience of exactly what he said. Before I used to forget birthdays. So I usually make and I just set it in my calendar. Happy anniversary. Repeats every month. It's easy. It's like now. I can't remember the last time she reminded me of our anniversary. Wake up. Happy anniversary.
That Google calendar is different.
I know. The time she calls me.
Making effort. Efforts to do that. So just be intentional about it. Tools to help you if you're intentional about it.
It's really important. I will take the last 2 things I have here, and then we'll go back to the comments. So the next thing I said is find out and share with each other what needs are unfulfilled, and then strategize on how to meet those needs or look for alternatives. Example, what do you want from me that I am not giving you? Each person says their own. You take note of it, and please don't turn it to fight. What do you mean by I'm not giving you that? Yes. Because you have decided. Please remember that you people decided, number one. So if you decided, you should be patient when the other person is telling you, I really want you to do more of this, but you're not doing it. I really want you to dress in this way, but you're not doing it. I look for trouble. I really want you to go to the barber and trim this beard, but you are not doing it.
What is your own? Can you relate? Because I know the straight. I'm just sitting there. The straight bullet. Straight bullet is just coming from it.
They're saying shave or cut it. They're just saying those kinds of needs. You have to share, and then now start thinking, how do we make this happen? How can I help you? How can you help me? Talk about those things. Then the last thing I have here is you guys need to change your mindset. And this changing mindset, something you need to know is that what you focus on grows. Okay? What you focus on, it becomes bigger, it's magnified in your eyes. So for instance, if I decide I am going to start paying attention to one thing that he did wrong, please just realize that when I'm paying attention to the one thing, there's something somewhere or somebody somewhere, or maybe it's just my mind, that will now remind me of the other thing that he also did wrong. And the other thing, and before you know it, you have a long list of things that he has done. You know how people say that the other day, that's how you did this. In fact, that other time, this is what you did. And then the guy is not feeling helpless. Like, I thought this is the issue.
This particular one.
But when you decide to focus on the wrong, it will grow. You will find others to add. So right now, I actually have, the same way I have my book that I write things I need to do. I have a book where I write the nice things he has done or the nice things he did. So when I come to the office, I'm going through early, just settling and stuff, and they're like, oh, that's true, you did this, and then I just go there, add one item. So even if I wanted to be upset, I can just go and look at all the nice things he has been doing. And when you pay attention to the nice things, you remember more nice things. And because you have a record somewhere, it's like someone says, I am giving you this big basket, fill it with apples, and you get a reward. Do you understand?
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, you'll be on the lookout for apples. You will notice every apple that you can reach. In fact, the ones that seem beyond reach, you may say, if I just use something and pull it, maybe I'll be able to draw the branch close enough, then I'll pick it. You will find more apples. So it's the same thing when you're keeping record of the good. You will find and you will notice more good. And then you begin to appreciate this person more, and that helps to change your mindset about the person. So you start to see this person as my wonderful husband, my kind husband, my sweet husband, my considerate husband, my all of that. It's just like, wow, he's so wonderful. Why? Because I'm keeping record and I'm taking note of all the things he has done well. That helps to change your mindset. Why do I say change your mindset? Because a lot of times when people get to that point when they're saying, I'm not doing this anymore. Irreconcilable difference. You are actually paying attention to the things that you say you are trying to reconcile. Do you understand? The thing, you have listed all the facts, all the things that he's not doing right, all the things that are wrong, all the things that are annoying, all the things that are embarrassing, all the things that are just weird. You have paid attention to them to the point that the soup is ready. All the ingredients of negativity are inside. And you just want to serve it. And serving it is, I'm done. Serving it is, I can't take this anymore. Serving it is, I'm moving on. Do you understand? Oh, hey, you don't need that. Why don't you go back and to help you change this mindset? Remember we said recall the times that everything was working. Go back and get some ingredients from that your past, write it down. Then now start to pay attention to now what? Now what is he doing well? Now what is he still doing? Maybe it comes to the point where all you can even say is at least he's paying the children's school fees. Or at least he's still bringing, she's still adding money for us to take care of the family's needs. Or do you understand? Just find something and build from there. Soon enough, you will see yourselves in a place where you have a lot to appreciate. So let's take a few comments before we go further. This is going well. Interesting. So Vanessa says, remember that love is just one component of a successful relationship. I think we read this, yes. Okay. And then, let's see. It says, so communication, compromise, and compatibility. Communication, compromise, and compatibility. He's on a flow. He said the studio set today is beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Debbie says, I have seen a lot of couples fall apart, which in turn affects their children. Yes, and this could actually be one of the reasons why you people make that decision. When you say we don't want our children to experience the negative consequences of maybe a failed marriage, a broken home, and so on and so forth. That could inform you to say we are going to try to make this work. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah. And Ezekiel says, in a relationship, both parties need to work together for their growth. They should consider themselves as one.
Yeah, fantastic. Just an addendum to that former point is that note we raised about duty. You know, there's a place where love is about feelings, emotions, decisions, hard work, and then there's the point where it becomes duty, as in it's my duty to love you because I chose to. Do you understand? So it's like as we grow together, I've taken you as we're not just having a relationship. No, we're going somewhere. And because we are going somewhere, I have a duty of care. I have a duty. There's what is required of me to do it for you in order for us to get where we're going. You know, so that's very critical. Patricia, Auntie Patty, there's also wahala of who is taking care of the children while one person is moving up and changing pairs. Remember you mentioned that? Yes. Do you understand? Yes. So it means that whoever is moving also has to be checking and considering the person that is left behind, the person that is following behind. You know, so that we do not now say that yes, I'm moving, but you didn't move. Meanwhile, you were taking care of children. Exactly. And especially for guys, taking care of children is hard work. It's a certification course. It's a degree on its own. It's hard. Being there, done that, have the t-shirts to prove it. So I can tell you for a fact that, see, when women are taking care of children, you should be, as you are climbing that ladder, you must be doing your best to be taking care of them. Because they could as well have been out there, but if they chose to stay back home, then you need to apply that duty to them also, to them also.
And something else that is important there is, when you decide I am going to leave this path, right, or maybe career or all those other pursuits and do family and stuff, that's fine. Don't forget your dreams and desires, and that's for whoever had to make that sacrifice. Because if you forget it altogether, you may get to the point where you start becoming bitter, or start saying, I give my all for the well-being of this family, and that maybe you start to feel like people are owing you, because that happens sometimes. So and a number of times it's the ladies who experience that. Sometimes their husbands, like we have talked about, get to the point where they feel I am all this and she's not all this. And the woman is saying, if not for me, would you have this? If not for me, would you have been able to face that career and become all that you are? If not for me, who was watching the kids and so on and so forth, would you have been able to go and get that degree, master's, PhD, all these things that you are making noise about? I am part of your success.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, because the wife's name or the woman's name is not clearly written on the certificate, in fact, it's not even written at all. The guy will be calling it his own. It's my success.
It's as if
it takes kindness, a lot of consideration for the man to acknowledge and applaud and continue to make it clear that, hey, this success is not all mine, it is ours.
It's our success.
It takes a lot, and that's part of what you have to be deliberate about and intentional about, so that you don't claim all the success by yourself and then forget about the people who enabled the success.
I actually think irrespective, a woman should find a way to evolve.
Whether you are staying at home.
You can't just be in one place for 15 years of your life. It's business. Find a way to manage the kids. That's why they say marry somebody that is sensible. Do we need a nanny? Do we need a cook? Because you can't do
everything. Yes.
Look for aid here and there. Progress in something.
Exactly.
Progress in one thing. If it's business, progress in business. Find something to do. Can't just see
or like something you can call your own.
Doing mommy baby, 15 years I doing mommy baby, 20
and then the baby has grown.
Baby has grown.
And you're still mommy baby.
Yes.
Baby will grow and get
and then baby will leave the house.
Baby will leave you.
Baby will leave the house.
The children grows, they have gone, and you realize that one morning you realize that 15 years of your life you sat down and you were doing mommy baby. Find something doing.
Yeah.
Progress in something. I think it even makes you more attractive if you are growing.
Yeah.
In one place.
When you are able to add to the conversation.
And the man goes out there, he sees a mother of 4. Maybe you have just 2. He sees a mother of 4 who has a PhD, and he's like, but this one doesn't have 2 heads. She has PhD, and just 2. And she's saying mommy baby. I think.
I always make reference to someone that challenged me. It got me thinking. It's a lady, Omoni Ogoli. I don't know her personally, but I read her bio, and I was shocked to find out she took 10 years of her life. She took it out. She left the stage as a director and went back just to raise her children. 10 years of her life, left the stage, went back. But the interesting thing is that in the years while she was growing, while she was raising her kids, when she came back with a bag. Do you understand? It was as if she took the time. She was raising her kids, but she was evolving. She was improving her creativity. Because she came back and she was just releasing one masterpiece after the other. So I was really encouraged by her. Final comments. Queen Debbie says, great show, really eye-opening. Eventus Eyo. That's the first time I'm hearing the name. If you're the first time on the show, please just give it a shout out. We welcome you. He says, I prefer having someone with understanding than having someone that loves conditionally. Interesting.
Okay.
So just final thoughts.
Final thoughts. We need to, something that we all need to remember, that it takes two. It takes two. And for you to keep your love going, you have to make a decision, and you both have to say that we are going to make it work. And you both have to say that, in fact, preferably, we're not going to allow ourselves get to the point where we say we're no longer interested, we no longer have feelings, we've grown apart. So that means that daily you have to walk your love and keep it going. If it's an engine, you have to keep it lubricated, you have to keep it warm, you have to keep it going. You can't say, oh well, whatever will be. You can't say, oh, it's COVID period, or you can't say it's a tough time in the economy, please, I beg, I'm just managing my mental health, nobody should stress me, and then you grow apart. You can't allow anything be enough reason to allow you both grow apart. So as you pursued, and as you followed up, and as you tried to woo, and as you tried to do everything, as you tried to seduce, as you tried to do everything in the early days, yes, remember that you have to keep doing to keep your love alive in your marriage and in your relationship. And I'd like to say thank you very much to the Ascent
family. Before you guys, because we don't know when we see you again. We don't know when we see you live in the studio again, even though you are always with us in diaspora and stuff. So any final thoughts from you before we call it a wrap?
Okay, so for me, I just believe that everything you put your mind together to do as a couple, you can achieve it. So always go with a positive mindset. No matter the crisis, that we can work this out. Once you believe that you can work something out, you see ways to work it out. So don't just rise it up like, okay, I'm not doing this thing again, I don't want to go through, I don't want to do this anymore with you. Then you find ways to live. There will be different ways for you to live. So have that positive mindset that you can work it out. Then you see solutions. They will jump at you.
Okay, for me, I just think you shouldn't let things pile. What somebody did to you 10 years ago, these are things you should just let it out. Look, this stuff you did, I don't like it. I don't like that you don't do this again. But you keep piling it, you keep piling it, you keep piling it. And one day you just bust out and you're mentioning things that happened 20 years ago. Communication helps.
Remember that movie we saw? These two young creative, one was a producer, one was an actor. They married at a very young age, and since they didn't tell themselves the truth till they were old. And so this man was not talking to her that day, was like, I spent the best part of my life getting married to you. I didn't get to enjoy my life. But at this time it was already bad.
But it was too late.
It was too late. And the marriage still didn't work. So let it out, like you said, early enough. Talk about it before it.
Okay, so my own final thought will be this, that I'll just sum up all you guys have said. Someone said this. He says, if you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're also right. So it depends on what it's up to you. You believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're also right. So for our Zini fans, before we go, our Zini fans, the secret word is thinking process. So find it wherever it is in the show today. We talked about thinking process. That's your key word. So I hand the show over to you. I would
like to thank King E and everyone else who has joined us today. King E said, I really enjoyed today's show. If one keeps on depending on sex to sustain relationships, then he or she needs help. Okay, but thanks. It's good to know you enjoyed the show, and thanks everyone for the positive feedback. And we would also like to remind you, if you have not subscribed,
Subscribe. Is that red button in YouTube?
If you enjoyed this show, like.
Is that one that looks like heart?
And then share, please.
Is that one that looks like arrow? Bend that arrow that curve like that. Cure. It's nice.
So share so that others can enjoy this as well and glean from this and take stuff that will help them. And thank you so much for being our guest on the show today, our audience on the show today, and our guests on the show today. And like we always say, see you next time. And remember, common sense
is not so common. Everybody. Common sense is not so common. Common sense is not so common. Common sense is not so common.
Yes, that was interesting.
Yay! Thanks for watching.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.